I'm reading from the Restored Name King James Version with the names properly translated. Deuteronomy 18, verse 9. When thou art come into the land which Yahweh thy Elohim giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations. Deuteronomy 31 and 11. When all Israel is come to appear before Yahweh thy Elohim in the place which he shall choose, thou shalt read this law before all Israel in their hearing. Gather the people together, men and women and children, and thy stranger within thy gates, that they may hear, and that they may learn, and fear Yahweh your Elohim, and observe to do all the words of this law, and that their children, which have not known anything, may hear and learn to fear Yahweh your Elohim, as long as ye live in the land whither ye go over Jordan to possess it. Jeremiah 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the ways of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. For the custom of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. Your children are in school, and they are learning the ways of the heathens. They are learning the pagan customs of Christmas, Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day, even New Year's Day is a pagan custom. We all know New Year's Day does not start in the middle of winter, in the dead of winter. It's all a lie, and they're tricking our children into worshiping other gods. This is the time to train our children to follow Yahweh. If we wait when they're older to teach them, it's going to be too late. Proverbs 22 and 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. If your children are in school, I urge you to take them out. I urge you to pray to the Most High to make it a way for you to teach them. If you're a mother and you have a support of your husband, you should do your best to stay home and teach your children, because their salvation is everything. Proverbs 29 and 15. The rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left himself bringeth his mother to shame. If you leave in the school system to teach your children, they are being left to themselves. And you know what? They're going to bring you to shame. Deuteronomy 11, verse 18. Therefore shall ye lay up these my words in your heart and in your soul, bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be as frontlets between your eyes. And ye shall teach them to your children, speaking of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. Let me ask you, if you wake up in the morning and go to work and leave your children to go to school, and you come back and they're already home from school, you come back, you make dinner, they finish their homework, they get ready for bed, do you have time to really teach them the scriptures? I mean, how much influence has the world had on your kids all day long? If you have time to teach them, that's great. But the influence is there. They're learning the ways of the other nations, whether you like it or not. From preschool, they start drilling the kids with things about holidays and holy days. I spoke to my daycare provider about my daughter, and I have to take her out of daycare. They read Halloween storybooks to all the children in class. I mean, they're not going to pull my daughter aside, which I asked them to do, to not read that garbage to my children. And they said they couldn't. And so now I got to find another daycare for her. But I really need to keep her home. I mean, she's learning the ways of the other nations. She asked me if she could be a mermaid for Halloween, because I guess the kids talk in school, what are you going to wear for Halloween? And my daughter, she wants to be a mermaid. But that madness, I told her she's not going to be one, and we don't celebrate Halloween, and that was that. But it's like I'm constantly having to defend myself when they're in school, and the kids, they learn Christmas whether they like it or not. Um, they learn the silliness of Christmas, giving out gifts and stuff, and then they get jealous. They start desiring the ways of the nations, and we don't want them to desire to follow other gods, because that's what they're going to end up doing. Them desiring to take part in Christmas, they're worshiping another god. Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 1. Now these are the commandments, the statutes, the judgments, which Yahweh your Elohim commanded to teach you, that ye may do them in the land whither ye go to possess it, that thou mayest fear Yahweh thy Elohim, to keep all his statutes and his commandments which I command thee this day, thou and thy son and thy son's son, all the days of thy life, and that thy days may be prolonged. Hear therefore, O Israel, and observe to do it, that it may be well with thee, and that thou may increase mightily, as Yahweh, Elohim of thy fathers, hath promised thee, in the land that floweth with milk and honey. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh is our Elohim, Yahweh is one. And thou shalt love Yahweh thy Elohim with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thy heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes. And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thine house, and on thy gates. Proverbs 22:15. Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction shall drive it far away from him. Now these scriptures are telling us to spank our children, but more so, this is the rod of correction. When your child acts up, bring out the scriptures. Even before he acts up, we're supposed to teach him the ways of the Most High, to put the love of the Most High in their hearts. And if we're not teaching them the ways of the Most High, they're not going to be set in their ways. They're going to be set in the ways of the world. And we have TV. If you guys let your kids watch TV, which I try not to, my kids don't watch that much TV, they're learning the ways of the world. If they listen to music of the world, they're learning. They're being taught. I mean, they're being influenced in all sorts of directions, and I don't like it. I took my children out of school, and I hope it be the Most High's will that they never go back. And they don't need to learn the ways of the other nations, because it is a commandment that they should not learn the ways of the other nations. And I want to let you guys know that on my website, followeroftheway.com, I made a homeschool page that will hopefully help you homeschool your children. It's just to assist you. You don't have to go there. You don't have to use it to help your kids with homeschool. You don't have to use it to homeschool your kids. But I added links, interactive websites, and I've also added information such as what are the requirements for each grade level. And while I was researching this, I noticed that it's part of the standard curriculum to teach our kids about holidays. You know, and holidays, as we know, is a celebration, the worship of other gods. And they are required to teach them that. Preschool, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, you know, and it's instilled in them as soon as they jump in the door. They're coloring hearts for Valentine's Day. V is for Valentine's. I mean, it's like really instilled in them. But we got to flip the script. We got to instill the Most High in them. You know, and once they get out of the holiday foolishness, they start learning about creation, the Big Bang Theory. And so our kids are constantly being told that there is no God, or that there is lots of gods, subliminally. You know, they're learning all these things. And when they get older, which way are they going to go? I mean, they're going to have two paths to choose. We should only show them one way, Yahweh's way, you know. So I just want to let you guys know about the website, followeroftheway.com/homeschool, and hopefully it can help you. I'm adding to it every day, and also added audio Bible stories so the kids can read along with the Bible stories, and then at the end there'll be a little quiz, and they can get quizzed, and and I put movies on there, Bible movies. You can explain to your children if you wanted to watch the movie that the people in the movie didn't look like that. But children are visual. They learn by seeing, and by hearing. So we want to incorporate all the avenues for them to learn, all the different methods for them to learn, or whatnot. So that's all I have to say. This is Morning Sunshine.